Have you ever dreamed that after retirement you would spend your golden years traveling the world, sipping coffee in Paris, watching the sunrise in Santorini, or strolling through the ancient streets of Kyoto? That dream sounds beautiful, until reality reminds you that at 70, your body no longer moves the way it used to. Many people believe that age is just a number, but the body does not think that way. Long flights can leave your back aching, unfamiliar climates can drain your energy, and one small fall could land you in the hospital for months. Even worse, most people do not realize these risks until it is too late, when their dream vacation turns into a stretch of exhausting, stressful, and expensive days. In this video, we will share 5 little-known truths about traveling after the age of 70, things that might completely change how you view your so-called golden adventure. You will understand why many older travelers end up facing health crises, financial risks, and the loss of peace of mind, all because of one seemingly harmless decision: booking a trip. And make sure you stay until the end, because the last reason is something most seniors have no idea about, yet it is the very cause behind many lost dollars, wasted time, and faded joy. Truth number 1. When your health no longer travels with you, at 70, even a short trip can become a major challenge. The body you once trusted now reacts differently, slower, weaker, and sometimes unpredictably. Heart problems, high blood pressure, or respiratory issues can appear suddenly, with no warning and no mercy. At home, things are simple. You have your regular doctor, a nearby hospital, and your medicine is always in the cabinet. But when you step into a foreign country where the language is different, the climate unfamiliar, and the nearest hospital might be hours away, everything becomes much more complicated. A slight chest pain or a dizzy spell can turn into a real emergency. Take the story of Mr. James, 74 years old, a man who loved to travel and always said, "Age is just a number." He and his wife went on a 2-week cruise, hoping for a peaceful vacation at sea, but by the 4th day he started to feel tightness in his chest. There was medical staff on board, but they could only provide first aid. To receive proper treatment, he needed to be taken to a hospital, yet the ship was in the middle of the ocean. He had to wait for hours before an emergency evacuation. By the time he reached the hospital, his heart had already weakened significantly. Fortunately, he survived, but later he admitted, "I underestimated what age can do." Many people at this age do not realize that regular health insurance does not cover medical emergencies abroad. A hospital stay, an emergency flight, or even a prescription refill can cost thousands, sometimes tens of thousands of dollars. Some travelers even have to pay up front just to receive treatment, something they never prepared for. And it is not only illness, the travel environment itself can wear your body down faster. Long flights can cause blood clots, especially for those who move very little. Extreme temperatures and high altitudes can overwork your heart and lungs. Jet lag, sleepless nights, and dehydration can weaken your immune system. If you are over 70 and still want to explore the world, travel smart, not recklessly. Get a full medical checkup before your trip. Bring all your prescribed medication and a copy of your doctor's notes. Learn about the healthcare system at your destination. And most importantly, purchase comprehensive travel insurance, one that covers emergencies, hospital stays, and medical evacuation. A well-prepared plan can save you from unnecessary disaster and turn your senior journey into a truly relaxing and safe getaway worthy of being called a vacation. Truth number 2. The risk of infection and exposure to germs. When people think about travel risks, most only worry about losing luggage or missing a flight. But for those over 70, the biggest threat often comes from something invisible: bacteria, viruses, and unfamiliar pathogens you cannot see. Picture this. You are in a crowded airport surrounded by hundreds of travelers from all over the world. Every handrail, every security tray, even a single elevator button could be covered with thousands of germs. On the airplane, the air is constantly recirculated, and if one passenger coughs, viruses can spread throughout the cabin in just a few hours. For younger people, a cold is no big deal, but for older adults, it can turn into pneumonia, respiratory failure, or a serious infection, especially when the immune system has weakened with age. Another often overlooked danger comes from food and water. Many travellers are eager to try local dishes, but the truth is, just one undercooked meal or a salad washed in unsafe water can cause your body to go on strike. Diseases like E. coli, salmonella, or norovirus can lead to dehydration, exhaustion, and even hospitalization for seniors. Take the story of Mrs. Helen, 72 years old. During her trip to Thailand, she was drawn to the colourful street food stalls. One seemingly harmless seafood salad sent her straight to the hospital with a severe intestinal infection. Her 10-day vacation quickly turned into days of IV drips in a foreign hospital. No family nearby, no shared language. The truth is, these risks are completely preventable as long as you prepare the right way. Here is what every traveller over 70 should do before every trip. Always wash your hands or use sanitizer after touching public surfaces. Wear a mask in airports, on planes, and in crowded places. Drink bottled water, avoid ice cubes, and do not drink tap water. Eat only thoroughly cooked food and stay away from raw vegetables or salads washed in local water. Get vaccinated against the flu, pneumonia, or tropical diseases if necessary before you travel abroad. A little caution will not take away the joy of travel. In fact, it helps you enjoy your journey fully without worrying about your health. Because a truly memorable trip is not the one with the most destinations, but the one where you return home safe, healthy, and happy. Truth number 3, fatigue and slow recovery after traveling. Traveling sounds wonderful, flights, new destinations, and smiling photos everywhere. But for people over 70, every journey is a physical test that few recognize until it is too late. The body that once bounced back easily now reacts more slowly, sleep becomes lighter, and even a few hours of time zone difference can take a whole week to recover from. Add to that constant movement, long lines at the airport, carrying luggage, and hours of walking on sightseeing tours. All of it can be overwhelming for an aging body. Imagine landing after a 10-hour flight with a 6-hour time difference. The next day, your schedule is packed, sightseeing, taking photos, non-stop moving. When you were younger, one night of rest would fix everything. But at 70, fatigue lingers. You feel foggy, lose your appetite, and sleep poorly. That feeling of being too exhausted to enjoy the trip is something many older travellers experience, but rarely talk about. Mr. Richard, 75 years old, is a perfect example. After retiring, he and his wife fulfilled their dream of touring Europe. But just a few days into the trip, he began feeling dizzy, could not walk long distances, and kept falling asleep during tours. By the time his body adjusted to the new time zone, the trip was almost over. And when he returned home, it took him several more weeks to fully recover. The problem is not just age. It is also that the body loses its ability to recover quickly. Lack of sleep, dehydration, changes in diet, and unfamiliar climates all weaken your strength, reduce immunity, and affect your mood. So how can you enjoy your journey without burning out? Plan a light itinerary, alternating sightseeing days with rest days. Choose shorter flights or routes with stopovers for breaks. Stay hydrated, eat balanced meals, and get enough rest before the trip. If you feel tired, allow yourself to rest. You do not have to see everything to prove anything. A vacation should never feel like a race. It should be a time for your body and mind to relax and recharge. Traveling in your 70s can still be wonderful, as long as you listen to your body and slow down a little. Truth number 4, the risk of falling and getting injured. There is one truth few people like to talk about. When you are young, a stumble might make you laugh. But at 70, a single fall can change the rest of your life. As the body ages, it does not just lose strength. Bones become more fragile, muscles take longer to recover, and your sense of balance decreases significantly. That means simple activities like stepping off a curb, walking on cobblestone streets, or entering a hotel bathroom can turn into real hazards. Take the story of Mrs. Linda, 78 years old. For years, she had dreamed of visiting Europe. She stayed active, walking in the park every day, and believed she was fit enough for the trip. But when she arrived in Italy, things were not as easy as she expected. Uneven cobblestone streets, narrow stairways, and dim lighting at night. One evening, she misjudged a step off the sidewalk, slipped, and broke her hip. Her dream vacation ended abruptly, and it took her months to recover after returning home. A small accident, but a big consequence, and sadly, it could have been prevented with better preparation. The truth is, many tourist destinations are not designed with older travellers in mind. Uneven roads, slippery stairways, hotel bathrooms without safety rails, and long walking tours that exhaust tired legs and slow reflexes. When you add fatigue and lack of sleep to the mix, the risk of falling multiplies. To keep yourself safe, here are a few simple but important things you can do. Wear non-slip shoes with soft, supportive soles. Use a walking cane if needed. It is a sign of wisdom, not weakness. Choose destinations with good infrastructure, flat roads, and fewer stairs. Take frequent breaks and do not push yourself when your body feels tired. When traveling with a tour group, let your guide know your physical limits. Sometimes, just one moment of caution can save you from months of pain and rehabilitation, because no trip is worth more than your safety or the freedom in every step you take. Truth number 5, health is usually the first thing that comes to mind. But there is another danger, quieter and sometimes even more devastating: financial risk. Many believe that if something happens, they can just call their insurance or use their savings. But reality can be far harsher. Abroad, a single hospital stay or an emergency medical flight can cost tens of thousands of dollars, and most domestic health insurance plans do not cover that. I once heard the story of Mr. George, 76 years old, a man who had saved carefully his entire life for his dream vacation. He booked a 5-star hotel at a great deal through what looked like a trustworthy website. But when he arrived, the hotel did not exist. He lost all his money, had to pay double for another place to stay, and his dream trip turned into a financial nightmare. What he regretted most was not the lost money, but the loss of peace of mind and trust he had built over years of preparation. And it is not just scams, even legitimate risks can empty your wallet. A last-minute flight cancellation, falling ill right before departure, or needing to cancel a trip because of a family emergency. In many of these cases, airlines and hotels offer no refunds, leaving older travellers out thousands of dollars. That is why before every trip, always remember, carefully review your health insurance policy. Make sure it applies overseas. Purchase comprehensive travel insurance that covers medical expenses, trip cancellations, and emergency evacuation. Book tours, flights, or hotels through reputable companies with clear refund policies. Avoid personal money transfers, and never share your credit card details with strangers or through email. Carry only the amount of cash you need and keep the rest in a secure account. Travel is meant to be enjoyed, not worried over. Being well prepared not only protects your finances, but allows you to travel with peace of mind instead of relying on luck. We have now gone through 5 important but rarely discussed truths about traveling after the age of 70. Health risks that can arise without warning, the danger of infections and unfamiliar diseases, fatigue and slow recovery after long trips, the risk of falls and injuries, and finally, the financial pitfalls that can cause serious loss. All of this is not meant to scare you, but to help you travel smarter, safer, and with more peace of mind. Being 70 does not mean you have to stop exploring. It simply means you should slow down a little, prepare a little more carefully, and listen to your body more closely. Choose shorter trips, nearby destinations, and places with good medical facilities. Do not push yourself with tight schedules, and never hesitate to say, "I need a break," because happiness does not come from how far you travel. It comes from how peaceful you feel along the way. Before booking your next trip, ask yourself, is my health truly stable? Do I have the right insurance coverage? Is my destination safe and easy to access? If you take the time to think through these questions, you're already halfway to a safe and fulfilling journey. Because living long is not just about adding more years to your life. It is about learning how to live healthily, joyfully, and peacefully in every single moment. Thank you for watching today's video. If you found these insights helpful, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it so more seniors can protect both their health and their love for travel. And do not forget to leave a comment below. Tell us what resonated with you the most today. Your words are the motivation that keeps us sharing meaningful messages with everyone.